अस्सलाम वालेकुम डियर स्टूडेंट्स। आई होप आप सब ठीक होंगे एंड आप सबको मेरी तरफ से ईद उल अजहा मुबारक हो। नाउ टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट द राउंडिंग। सो if we talk about the rounding, as per I had experienced this thing that the question is based on rounding, were being asked particularly from the grade 3, grade 4th and onwards. But the student must learn this concept in the class 3rd, because if you had any lacking in this concept, it means this thing will go in number of classes, next classes. So today I hope you will get mastery in this topic, that is rounding. And one more thing I want to add here, that we are using rounding in addition, in subtraction, in multiplication, and also in division. So we are using rounding in all the concepts. Now let us start how to do rounding. So let us start from, and before going to that, we are doing rounding nearest to 10. Most of the time we are doing the rounding nearest to 10 and nearest to 100 and nearest to 1000. Mostly we are doing rounding for in these three numbers, in mostly in third, fourth, fifth classes. Now let us understand briefly this concept. So let us start nearest 10, because as I have experienced that most of the students stuck in this concept, and but inshallah I hope after watching this video till end you will get the mastery in this concept. Now let's start. Let's begin with the rounding. So see here, if you have to do rounding nearest to 10, so what you have to do, for example, if I have any number, two-digit number, because here is one notation thing, that is single digits cannot be rounded. So this concept here, this is very important notation here, that we can't round the single digit number. You cannot round them. Okay. Now let us go for the two digit numbers. For example, if I have any number from, for example, 10 to 20, if you have any number, so you need to have to round the number nearest 10. For example, if I have 14, I have to round the 14 nearest to 10. So how we can round this? So I can write here that 14 can be rounded off nearest to 10. So when I have to do the rounding of 14 nearest 10, what you have to do, you have to simply say that, see that if the digit at ones place, if the digit at ones place, if the digit at ones place is from 0 to 4, is from 0 to 4, that time the rounding goes to below the limit. What does that mean? For example, this 14 comes between 10 and 20, because these are our exact values, 10 and 20. So this 14 comes between 10 and 20. Now we have to check the ones place. Here the one in ones place there's a 4. So whenever the ones place digit when you have to do the rounding nearest to 10, जब भी आपको 10 पे राउंडिंग करनी होगी, जो वन्स प्लेस पे राउंड नंबर होगा, जैसे 4 here is a 4. सो इस टाइम क्या होता है कि जो हमारे ये दो एग्जैक्ट वैल्यूज हैं 10 एंड 20, इस टाइम हमारा जो वैल्यू होता है दैट इज़ अ लोअर लिमिट, मीन्स कि दिस 14 कम्स बिटवीन 10 एंड 20, बट when we round this 14, the answer will be 10. See, and another example, for example, and one more point we can add here, that is if the ones place digit, if the ones place digit is from 5 to 9, the rounding goes up. Okay. So here if I have the number 16, so now I have to round the 16. So 16 is coming between 10 to 20, because these are the exact values. We are rounding tens, means we have to the gap between these two numbers must be 10. So the 16 is comes between 10 and 20. So now here we have to check the ones place. In ones place there is a 6, वन्स प्लेस पे 6 है, तो 6 की राउंडिंग क्या आती है, 5 to 9 राउंडिंग क्या होती है, अप. सो इट मीन्स वी हैव टू चूज द upper digit number. So we can write here that 16 can be rounded off nearest to 10, and the answer will be 20. So this is about the how to do the rounding nearest to 10. We will go through the other examples. I am now going to take some more examples. Let us start with some more examples. For example, if I have a number that will be, for example, 125. So I have to round 125 must be rounded nearest to 10. So what we have to check? We have to check the digit at ones place. So here ones place there is a 5. So we know that the 125 is comes between 120 and 130, because we simply just put this one here and this same one place put here. So this is 1 and this is 25. We know that 25 comes between 20 to 30. So now we have to check the digit that is ones place. So in ones place there is a 5. So we can write here that 125 can be rounded off nearest to 10, that will be equal to, so 5 की राउंडिंग क्या होती है, so just this 5 goes, the rounding goes up, because I have already discussed that. So I have already discussed that thing, that from 0 to 4 the rounding goes below, means कि हम lower limit लेते हैं, यहाँ पे हम लोअर लिमिट चूज़ करते हैं. अगर आपका वन प्लेस का नंबर 0 to 4 होगा तो उस टाइम हम लोअर लिमिट लेते हैं. मगर इफ़ योर नंबर इज़ फ्रॉम 5 to 9, सो दैट टाइम जो वो नंबर होगा, जिन डिजिट्स जिन एग्जैक्ट वैल्यूज़ के बीच वो नंबर होगा, उस टाइम हम लेते हैं अपर लिमिट. So then that time we are taking upper limit. So here we have 5, 125. Here it is the ones place digit is 5. So we have to go for the upper limit. So we can say that 125 can be rounded off nearest to 10. The result will be 130. One more example I am going to take in here, that is if I have 1565. So again I have to round this number nearest to 10. So how we can round this nearest to 10? So simply we can say that this number can be rounded off nearest to 10. So because we know that here is 65. So this is 1500. So I am writing here 1500, and this 65 comes between 60 and here is 1070. So this is the gap 60 to 70. So here is a gap of 10. So because we are rounding 10, so here should be the gap of 10. So this 1560, this 1570. But now we have to check the ones place. So in ones place there is a 50. There's a 5. So 5, the rounding of 5 goes up. So we can simply say that 165 can be rounded nearest to that answer will be 1570. This will be your rounding value of this number. Now sometimes the question is in addition we are being asked like this, okay, you have to add the following numbers, add the following numbers. So how to you have to add? So you need to add the numbers with like this. For example, I have 1000. I am taking this example: 1065 plus 4115. So now I have to add these two numbers. Okay, so before addition we have to go for the rounding. हमें इनको राउंड करना है नियरेस्ट 10, नियरेस्ट 10 हमें इन दोनों नंबर्स को राउंड करना है. सो आई एम फर्स्ट डूइंग द राउंडिंग. 1565 कैन बी राउंडेड द आंसर नियरेस्ट 10, द आंसर विल बी 1570. In the same way, if we have to round 4115 nearest to 10, the answer will be the 4120. 4120. Now I have to add these two numbers. So this is 0, 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 2 is 9, this 5 plus 1 is 6, and this 4 plus 1 is 5. So this is your this answer, we can say that this is our estimated sum. We can call it as estimated sum because we are now adding the two numbers but after the rounding. हमने पहले इनकी राउंडिंग की, देन आफ्टर दैट वी हैव सम बट समटाइम्स you have to check the actual sum, एंड कभी कभार आपको एक्चुअल सम भी निकालना पड़ता है. सो व्हाट इज द एक्चुअल सम? दैट विल बी 1565 एंड दिस इज 4115. now you need to add here, this is 0, 6 carry 1, 7 and 8, this is 5 plus 1 is 6, and this is 4 plus 1 is 5. So 5680 is your actual sum. Actual means what numbers being asked, so you have to simply add those numbers. But if the question is asked that you need to find the estimated sum, so that time you have to do this way. So now I think आप लोगों ने ये समझा होगा कि हम कैसे राउंडिंग करते हैं नियरेस्ट 10. इतना याद रखना कि अगर आपका वन्स प्लेस पे उस नंबर का जो वन्स प्लेस होगा, ठीक है, चाहे वो 0 हो, 1 हो, 2 हो, 3 हो या 4 हो, इस टाइम जो राउंडिंग होती है दैट कैन गोज फॉर द लोअर लिमिट. मीन्स कि जिन दो डिजिट्स एग्जैक्ट वैल्यूज के बीच वो नंबर आता है तो उस टाइम हम लोअर लिमिट चूज कर सकते हैं. एंड इफ योर नंबर कम्स फ्रॉम 5, 6, 7, 8 एंड 9, सो दिस टाइम द राउंडिंग गोज टू अपर साइड. मीन्स कि जो अपर लिमिट, जो वो नंबर होगा जिन दो नंबर के बीच वो होगा तो वो उसकी ओर जा सकता है. नाउ लेट अस टॉक अबाउट द राउंडिंग नियरेस्ट टू 100. सो नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न अबाउट द राउंडिंग नियरेस्ट टू 100. राउंडिंग नियरेस्ट टू 100. So if you have to do rounding, but it must be at the nearest 100. So how to do this thing? See, हमने अभी जब 10 पे राउंडिंग की उस टाइम हमने बात की कि आपको चेक करना है वन्स प्लेस पे कौन सा डिजिट है. बट इन द राउंडिंग नियरेस्ट 100 you need to check the number which is there at the 10th place. So how to do this thing? For example, I have the number 169. Here we have to do rounding nearest to 100. We know that this 160 comes between the two numbers. This one should be here, and here we can say that this is the difference between the two. This number comes between the two exact values, that is either it is 100 or 200. now we have to check this 6 because we are now going to so हम यहाँ पे ये चीज़ नोट डाउन कर सकते हैं कि जब भी हमें 100 पे राउंडिंग करनी होगी हमें चेक करना होगा 10th प्लेस पे कौन सा डिजिट है, विच डिजिट कम्स इन द 10th डिजिट, 10th प्लेस डिजिट. सो 10th प्लेस पे जो डिजिट होगा उसी को हमें चेक करना है. सो हियर इन द 10th प्लेस द डिजिट इज 6, the digit is 6. So if the digit at 10th place is 6, we have already discussed that that time the rounding goes up, because when your value is from 5 to 9 the rounding choose the upper limit. So what is the upper limit here? That is 200. So we can simply say that 169 can be rounded off nearest 100. The answer will be 200. If I have next example 764, we have to round this nearest, हमें इसको राउंड करना है nearest 100. सो क्या कर सकते हैं हम यहाँ पे, हमें टेंस प्लेस पे जो डिजिट है 6 को, इसी को हमें चेक करना है. बट बिफोर गोइंग टू दैट वी नो दैट कि हियर इज 764, इधर इट बिकम्स 700 और इट बिकम्स 800. सो 700, दिस इज 700 एंड दिस इज 800. या तो ये 700 के साथ जाएगा या तो ये 800 के साथ जाएगा. नाउ वी नीड हैव टू चेक द डिजिट विच इज एट द 100 प्लेस. सो 100 प्लेस पे यहाँ पे टेंस प्लेस पे जो डिजिट यहाँ पे होगा दैट इज 6. So the digit at the tens place is 6. So the rounding at the time of the 6, the digit at the tens place is 6. So at this time the rounding goes the upper limit, that is 800. One more example I have, for example 1234. We have to round this 1234 nearest to 100. So we have to round this nearest to 100. We know that here is this is 1200. So I can say that either it becomes 1200 or it becomes 1300, because there should be a gap of 100 in between these exact values. So 1200 or 1300, but the digit at the tens place is 3. So that at the time of the 3, the rounding goes the lower limit. So what is the lower limit? That is just 1200. So we can simply say that 1 2 3 4 can be rounded off nearest to 100. The result will be 1200, because at the tens place the digit is 3 is here. So that time the rounding goes below the limit, lower limit. Now let us talk about the rounding nearest to 100. Rounding nearest to 100 at the end 1000. At that end we will go for the question answer. Okay, so and we will go question answer in all the sections, all the operations. Okay, now here is a rounding nearest to 1000. So at the time of 1000 you need have to check the digit which is at 100 place. The digit you have to check the digit at 100 place. जो आपका 100 प्लेस पे डिजिट है उसी पे फोकस करना है यहाँ पे. बट बिफोर गोइंग टू दैट देयर शुड बी द एग्जैक्ट, देखिए द एग्जैक्ट वैल्यूज आर 1000 2000 3000. दिस आर एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू. जैसे हमने टेनिस की बात की, टेनिस की जब हम टेनिस पे राउंड करते हैं तो या तो बनेगा 10 या बनेगा 20 या बनेगा 30. 100 पे जब हमने बात की थी तो जब हम 100 पे राउंड करते हैं हम बोलते हैं या बनेगा 100 या बनेगा 200 या बनेगा 300, लाइक सो ऑन एटसेट्रा. एंड हियर द गैप बिटवीन द टू एग्जैक्ट वैल्यूज इज 1000. सो इधर इट बिकम्स 1000 2000 3000 and 4000 or etc. ऐसा आगे हो सकता है. So let us discuss the rounding nearest to 1000. So for example I have the number 1499. 1499. As here is a 1, so the gap should be 1000. So I can here write here this is 1000 and this is 2000. Either it becomes 1000, it tends to 1000, or it tends to 2000. But we need have to check the digit at 100 place. So 100 place is 4. The rounding at 4 goes the lower limit. So the answer will be 1000. So we can simply say that 1499 can be rounded off nearest 1000. So we can round this nearest 1000. So the answer will be 1000. One more example. Here we are going to learn about one more example. So what is that? So here I am going to take a big number like this 5 4 2 3. This is 5423. We need have to round this nearest to 10. We have to round this number. So how to do rounding here? So we know that this is here is 5. It stands for 5000. It stands for 5000, and another gap, the gap between this 5000 and the another number, there should be 1000 gap. So we can write here 5000 and the another number will be 6000. So now we need to check the digit which is at 100 place, because we are rounding nearest to 1000. So the digit at 100 place is 4. So we can say that the rounding of 4 touches the tends to the lower limit. So the out of these two, which is the lower one? That is the this one. So we can say that 5 4 3 2 3 can be rounded off nearest 1000, but the answer will be this becomes just 5000. So that is your answer. So now let us understand through the questions how to solve the different types of questions. For example, I have already showed you the discussion in nearest to 10 how can we solve. So if we talk about addition, एडिशन में क्वेश्चन आ सकता है आपको 100 पे नियरेस्ट 100 एंड नियरेस्ट 1000. फॉर एग्जांपल द क्वेश्चन विल बी आस्क्ड दैट कि फाइंड द एस्टिमेटेड सम and the actual sum. The question will be asked like this: estimated sum and actual sum. So the number is, for example, I will give you the example that you need to have to round the numbers nearest to 100, and then you have to add the numbers. For example, I have number is 4565 and another number is 3421. So we have to add these two numbers nearest to 100 and nearest to 1000. So first of all, we are going to understand, we are now going to do the estimated sum but nearest to 100. So पहले हम इनको nearest to 100 पे करेंगे. So we know that this 4565, this is a 4565, this number can be round off nearest to 100. हम इसको पहले round off करेंगे. We know that this when we are talking about the nearest 100, we are checking the digit which is at tens place. So here is 6, but we know that this is a 4565. So either it becomes 4500 because here are the 45, and either it becomes the 4600. Okay, 4600 because this is 45 either, and the 45 is here, this is 46. The gap should be 100. Now the digit at tens place, क्योंकि जब भी हम 100 प्लेस पे राउंडिंग करते हैं हम चेक करते हैं टेंस प्लेस पे कौन सा डिजिट है. तो 6 की राउंडिंग हमेशा अपर लिमिट को टच करते हैं. तो इन दो में बड़ा नंबर कौन है? 4500 एंड 4600. तो बड़ा नंबर कौन है? 4600. सो द वन वैल्यू इज 4600. नाउ अनदर नंबर इज 3421. 3421. So when we have to do the rounding of this number nearest to 100, so we know that it becomes either it becomes 3400 or 3500. Now we need have to check the digit which is at tens place. At tens place here is a 2, so the rounding of 2 goes the lower limit, tends to lower limit. So which one is lower? That is 3400. So we can I am writing here 3400. So now I have to do the addition of these two numbers. So 0 0 6 plus 4 is 10, that is again 0 1 carry, this is 8. So the answer is 8000. One more thing I want to add here that जब भी हम राउंडिंग करते हैं ना, राउंडिंग के बाद हमारा जो एडिशन होगा, सब्ट्रैक्शन होगा या डिवीजन होगा, that becomes very easy. Now in the same way, if I have to go for the actual sum means what the digit has been asked, you need to add them. For example 4 5 6 5 and add करना है हमें 1 2 4 3. So these two numbers must be added. 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, and 5 plus 4 is 9, 3 plus 4 is 7. So 7986, but the rounding answer is the estimated sum is this. In the same way, if we have to go for the same example, if we have to round this same example nearest to 1000, so again I am going to round nearest to 1000. So I have to round this same number, that is 4565. It must be rounded nearest to 1000. So either it becomes 4000 or 4 के बाद आता है 5 because the gap must be 1000. So either it becomes 4000 or 5000. So whenever we are going to know about the rounding of nearest to 100, that time we have to check the digit which is at 100 place. So 1 is 10 and 100 place there is a 5, and at the time of 5 जब आपको राउंडिंग करनी है 5 की राउंडिंग हमेशा अपर लिमिट को टच करते हैं. So the bigger one is 5000. So the answer will be for this nearest 1000, the answer will be this becomes the 5000. Another number is that is 3421. 3421. We need have to do the rounding of this number nearest to 1000. So we know that here this is 3 and it stands for 3000, and this is another number will be 4000 because the gap must be 1000. Now the digit which is at 100 place is 4. At the time of 4 the rounding goes the lower limit. The lower limit is 3000. So now I have to add the number that is 3000. So add them 0 0 0, and this 5 plus 3 is 8. So the answer is 8,000. So 8,000 is your rounding nearest, after the rounding nearest to 1,000, and this answer will be the same either, because this is actual sum, so actual sum remains the same, but rounding can be changed nearest to 10, 100 and 1,000. So let us do one more questions related to the other operations. For example, if you have to subtract the two numbers, but first, before you have to find the आपको दो चीज़ें करनी होगी. For example, you need to find the estimated subtraction. Estimated means you need to do the rounding, and next is that is called the actual subtraction. And one more thing, some factual points are related to the subtraction is, देखिए before subtraction आपको कुछ चीज़ें अपने जहन में रखनी होंगी. What were these things? There are some factors कि if we talk about addition, there is no need to change order, because if here is 10 and the below is, for example, 200, we need to add, so we can simply add them 0, 1 and this is 2. There's no hard and fast rule, so we can simply say that the order change doesn't affect the addition, so the result is same. Either I will write 200 and below I will write 10, or I am writing here 10 and here I am writing 200. So the answer in the same situation, in the two ways, the answer will be the same here and the answer will be the same here. But if we talk about the subtraction, and during subtraction it is very important to keep in your mind that we can't change the order. So if I am writing here 50 minus 10, so the answer will be 40, but it is not possible to write the 10 and here I am writing the 50, so the result is not possible. Here in lower classes we are saying that the result is not possible, or we can say that it is not defined. हम इस चीज़ को डिफाइन नहीं कर सकते. सो ऑर्डर चेंज हम सबट्रैक्शन में नहीं कर सकते हैं, ठीक है. सो एडिशन में हम कर सकते हैं, मल्टीप्लिकेशन में हम कर सकते हैं, बट इसमें हम सबट्रैक्शन में हम ऑर्डर चेंज नहीं कर सकते हैं. सो नाउ इफ यू हैव टू फाइंड द सबट्रैक्शन, एस्टिमेटेड सबट्रैक्शन एंड एक्चुअल सबट्रैक्शन. सो एस्टिमेटेड वर्ड स्टैंड्स फॉर दैट you need to first do the rounding. So I have the number, for example, 3 6 5 6 and minus 2 3 4 5. So we have to do here the rounding. हमें करनी है nearest to 100 भी हम करेंगे and nearest to 1000 भी हम करेंगे. Even we are going to nearest to 10. So before I am doing the nearest to 10. So this is 3 6 5 6. It can be rounded nearest. If we have to go for the nearest 10, so we can simply change the 56. So we know that 56 comes between, either it becomes 50 or 60. But here is 3 6 here and the same 3 6 here. So this is 3650, this is 3660. So now we have to check the digit at ones place. Ones place is 6, so nearest 10 के टाइम हम ones place पे चेक करते हैं, that is 6 के टाइम rounding up होते हैं, so the answer will be 3660. that is the nearest 10. It is in the same way if we have to go for the nearest 100. So अगर हमें इसी को सेकंड नंबर को भी करना होगा nearest 10, so 2 3 4 5 को भी हम राउंड कर सकते हैं nearest 10. सो इट बिकम्स 4 0 और 5 0. यहाँ से 2 3 सेम रहेगा, 2 3 तो सेम रहेगा, बट नाउ द वंस पे इज 5, सो 5 के राउंडिंग अप होते हैं, तो 2 3 5 0 इज योर answer. Now you have to do the subtraction, that estimate subtraction. That will be, the answer is 3660 and the next is 2350. So result is 0 1 3 1. So 1310 is your estimated subtraction of nearest to 10. In the same way, if we have to go for the 100 place, so we can simply that you can do this thing by your own self. That is 3 6 5 6 can be rounded nearest to 100. So nearest 100 you need to check the digit which is at 10's place. So here in 10's place the digit is 5, so we can say that the difference, the answer will be 3600, and the number second is 2000, that is 2345. So we have to do the rounding nearest 100, so it means you need to check the 10's place. So the rounding at the nearest 10, that will be 2300, because at the fourth rounding the digit the result is the lower limit. So here we have for example two digits, two numbers, 3600 3700. Okay, so now if we are going to nearest 100, so it means you need to choose the digit which is at tens place and 5, so we can choose this number, that is 3700. And in the same way you need, we know that this is 2300 or 2400, but the digit at tens place is 4. That time the rounding goes below limit, that is the 3000, 2300, and this is 2400, so the rounding take 2300. So this is the so after subtraction, so we get the estimated subtraction, and actual means you need to simply just 3656 minus 5432. so after doing this, this is the 1, this is 1, this is 3, and this is 1. So this is your answer. So this is your nearest to 10, this is your actual. And in the same way, if you have to go for the multiplication, अगर आपको मल्टीप्लिकेशन के क्वेश्चंस करने हैं, तो राउंडिंग के रिलेटेड मल्टीप्लिकेशन अगर आपको क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं, तो दैट इज़ वेरी इजी. सो यू नीड टू डू द मल्टीप्लिकेशन. सो हाउ टू डू दैट इज़ वेरी इजी थिंग. ठीक है, लेट्स लर्न अबाउट दैट. सो सी फॉर एग्जांपल आई हैव टू राउंड डू द क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू द मल्टीप्लिकेशन. So in multiplication we have to do the rounding. Okay, so we need to find the, that is called estimated product. Estimated product, the word, whenever you see the estimated product, it means you need to go for the rounding, and next is the actual multiplication. Okay, so you have to go for actual multiplication and estimated product. So for example, I have to number for example 3215, and the another number is 4326. so we have to do the multiplication of these two numbers. So before that I have to go for the rounding. Nearest to 10 भी हमें rounding करनी है, nearest to 100 भी हमें rounding करनी है, nearest to 1000 भी हमें rounding करनी है. Then after that we have to go for that estimated product. So before going to that, I am going to first do the rounding nearest to 10. So nearest 10 पे जब हम rounding करेंगे, तो पहला नंबर है 3215. So rounding जब हम इसको करेंगे nearest 10, either it becomes 10 or it becomes 20. So before this there is 32 and this is also 32. So the digit at one's place is 5. So whenever we are going to the nearest 10, the digit at one's place is greater than, if greater than 4, the rounding goes to upper limit. So upper limit is 3220 will be the answer here. This 3220 multiplied by 4326. So we have to do the rounding of this 4326 nearest to 10. So nearest 10 today we are checking the ones place, but it becomes 4320 because we know that 26 comes between 20 to 30. So it becomes 4330. Now the ones place digit 6, so the rounding choose this number. Now you have to multiply 3220 this number and into 4330. That will be the result. In the same way, you have to go for the rounding. It's the same number, must be rounding nearest to 100. So we can say that this is 3215. Nearest to 100, it becomes either it becomes 3200 or 3300. But the nearest to 100, it becomes, you need to check the digit which is as 1 is 10's place. So 10's place here is a 1. Okay, so here is a 1. So we can simply add the 1's. We have to go for the rounding goes the lower limit. So the answer will be 3200. And in the same way, if the another number is 4326, the rounding touch, so we need to go for the rounding nearest to 100. So it becomes 4300 or 4400. Now but the digit at the 10's place is 2, so the rounding goes a lower limit. So in the same way, so now after that you can do the multiplication. But and one more thing, if you have to go for the rounding nearest to 1000, so you need to do them like this, that is 3215. Either it becomes 3000 or it becomes 4000. And in the same way, next is 4326. It can be rounded up, either it becomes 4000 or it becomes 5. The gap between the two exact values must be 1000 when you are going nearest 1000. So here the digit at 100 place is 2, so the rounding choose the lower limit. Here the digit at the 100 place is 3, the digit goes so the answer is, this is 3000 into 4000. So the answer will be 0003 0 0 0 and fourth is our 12. So this is your answer. So I hope आप सभी ने इस चीज़ को समझा होगा. तो हमने आज डिस्कस किया. आई एम गोइंग टू रिपीट अगेन सो दैट यू विल रिकैपिचुलेट दिस थिंग अगेन. सो इट विल टेक सम मिनट्स मोर एंड आई होप आप सब इस चीज़ को एंटर देंगे. तो वी हैड डिस्कस्ड अबाउट द राउंडिंग. सो आई हैव डन राउंडिंग nearest 10, nearest 100 and nearest 1000. So if you are solving the questions based on 10, 100 and 1000, so this video is very important for you because most of the students stuck in this method. So let us again recapitulate this thing what we had discussed in this. So आपके पास अगर numbers होंगे 0 2 0 1 2 3 and 4, if your the ones place digit is any digit from the above digits to digits 0 to 4, so the rounding is between the two limits, that is the lower limit and upper limit. So that time you need to choose the lower limit. So example is if I have 24 comes between 20 to 30 and the ones place digit is 4, the rounding goes below, the answer will be 20. And if you have to go for the rounding of the nearest 100, if you have to do the rounding nearest 100, it means if I have, for example, 312, so I need to check the 312 nearest to 10 because जब हमें टेंस भी करनी होती है तो वनस प्लेस चेक करते हैं. जब हमें टेंस भी करनी होती है 100 भी करनी होती है तो हम टेंस प्लेस भी चेक करते हैं. जब हमें 1000 करनी होती है तो हम 100 प्लेस को चेक करते हैं. हियर आई हैव 312 कैन बी राउंडेड, इधर इट बिकम्स at nearest 100 300 or it becomes 400. But at the tens place the digit is 1, so we can simply say that the result goes the lower limit, so the answer is 300. Answer is 300. In the same way I have number for example 8964 and next number is 6432. I have to do the rounding these two numbers nearest to 1000. So I am now here showing you that 8964 can be rounded up, either it becomes this 8000, 8 के बाद आता है 9000. सो या तो ये 8000 की ओर 9 हो जाएगा या 9000 की ओर. बट द डिजिट एट 100 प्लेस, जो ये यहाँ पे 100 प्लेस डिजिट 9 है, 9 की राउंडिंग ऑफ हो जाए तो आंसर विल बी 9000 एंड 6432. सो हियर दिस नंबर कम्स बिटवीन इधर इट इज 6000, either it becomes 6000 or 7000, but the digit at the 100 place is 4, the rounding goes the lower, so it is the answer is be 6000. I hope आप सब लोगों ने इस चीज़ को आज समझा होगा कि हम राउंडिंग कैसे कर सकते हैं. मुझे उम्मीद है कि जितने भी मेरे व्यूअर्स हैं जो इस चीज़ को देख रहे हैं, सो वो इस वीडियो को एंड तक देखेंगे और आफ्टर दैट अगर आपके पास कोई भी क्वेरी होगी, ठीक है, सो यू कैन कमेंट हियर. सो आप अपनी कमेंट यहाँ पे दे सकते हैं. सो दैट टाइम आई विल मेक अनदर वीडियो फॉर दैट. सो इंशाल्लाह वी विल मीट सून अगेन. टिल देन अल्लाह हाफिज़.